Robert W. Smith. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this contest from ringside. From Doncaster, Michael Alexander. From Twickenham, Marcus McDonald. And from Birmingham, Terry O'Connor. Your timekeeper from Harrow Weald is John Smith. And at the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring from Watford, A-star referee, Mr. Bob Williams. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, standing with his head trainer, Aaron Johnson. He wears the black trunks. This slick southpaw scaled 8 stone, 11 pounds, 2 ounces. His professional record, 10 wins against 6 defeats. He has 4 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Wolverhampton by way of Yaoundé, Cameroon. Here is the 2-time Olympian and former English, Commonwealth, and WBA Continental Champion, Thomas Essomba. And his opponent across the ring fighting out of the blue corner. He stands with his head trainer, Neil Fannin. He wears yellow with a blue stripe. He scaled 8 stone, 11 pounds, 3 ounces. His professional record, a perfect one. 29 fights, 29 victories. He has 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of West Rainton, County Durham. Here is the British, IBF European, and NABA undefeated champion, Thomas Patrick Lord.
So touch of gloves between the two. Bob Williams in charge of this one. Neil Fannin in the corner for Ward, as he will be for Lewis Ritson later on. And the ubiquitous Errol Johnson for Thomas Essomba.
Second round, round 1.
So into the first. Ward in the yellow and blue. Essomba boxing out of the southpaw stance in the black. And these two were both star amateurs, as outlined. Essomba continued into the senior ranks. Ward elected not to. And Matt asked the question at the start, is he British boxing's best kept secret? I would say that he is, because he hasn't had that much exposure, but the win against Dickens, who's a formidable fighter, was a good one. But it's his last big performance, really, that stands out for me, against Jesse Hernandez in the USA in the WBO Eliminator, which got him that #3 ranking. Hernandez felt, I think, that he would walk through Ward, and the American press were of the same opinion, but they changed their mind by the end of it. It was a very impressive display. You put him down with a lead left hook at the end of the 4th, could maybe got the stoppage if it hadn't been at the end of the round, and then at the end of the 8th, referee Bill Clancy practically begged the doctor to stop it because he didn't like what he was seeing, but the doctor didn't really have a legitimate reason to do it, and the fight went the distance.
I think he's a great example, Andy, of someone that's learned his trade as a professional, turned pro very young, you know, away from the spotlight, and just quietly gone about his business, improving. You know, he didn't have a lot of knockouts early on at all. I mean, he only has 4 now on his record, but I think he only had 1 in the first, probably, I think, 16, 17 fights. So, you know, he's developed, he's matured, and he's learned his trade as he's gone. And, you know, he has a few good wins there. The Jazza Dickens one looks even better as time's gone on when you see how good Jazza has been performing lately. But, yeah, well-schooled, nice rhythm. Experience, 29 fights now, has a good ranking as well, been to America. Yeah, coming along at a lovely place, and I think it is the right time now to start making that move towards getting him into world title contention.
He's taken this at short notice, Essomba, who himself is a well-schooled fighter, compact, good organised feel to his work. We've seen him recently, a few weeks ago, in against Sonny Edwards. That was at super flyweight. I mentioned that he traverses the weight divisions. He lost that fight. I covered that one, and I had it 116, 112. He gave a good account of himself. Edwards was always in control. He was just a bit too elusive and skillful for Asomba, but there's no shame in that. Edwards has been too elusive and skillful for everybody he's boxed so far.
Yeah,
Right
really
hand
good
there from
fighter.
Ward.
Yeah, really good fighter, Sonny Edwards. Really good fighter.
Just inching forward there, Asomba. Darts out with the jab, doesn't quite reach with it.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
Only Sky Cinema customers can watch the brand new film, The Secret Garden, in their homes on the same day it's released in cinemas.
Follow me!
Unlock your imagination.
I knew you were hiding something.
This garden, it's capable of extraordinary things.
There are even more secrets to this garden.
Now will you believe in the magic?
The Secret Garden, in cinemas and on Sky Cinema Friday.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
That's the Asomba corner. Paul Mann and Errol Johnson. I described Errol Johnson at the start as the ubiquitous Errol Johnson because Black Country Boxing, which he runs, have played a massive part in these Matchroom shows since the return of boxing. We've seen him and Paul Mann pretty much every week.
That's how it used to be on the amateur circuit too. Every single show you ever went to, Errol Johnson would be at it with about 10 kids. My first ever amateur bout was against Errol Johnson, was in the opposing corner.
Ward just looking to try and get on the jab. Asomba just pecking with that lead hand. As I mentioned, he's always in excellent shape. He knows his way around the boxing ring extremely well. He is not going to present an easy target. That was a solid looking right hand there from Ward.
Yeah, landed a few good straight rights in that first round as well. So good lead left hand there from Asomba. Not a lot between them. I think Ward landing a few nice straight right hands gave him the first round of my card. But Asomba's small here, and I think he's using that, you know, staying low, and I think it's actually a little bit awkward for Ward. You know, he has to punch down, and you can see Asomba's got quick hands trying to counter over the top.
Yeah, 2 good wins before that defeat against Edwards, Asomba, against Sean McGoldrick, and then away against a 7-0 Kazakh fighter in Kazakhstan in Iskander Karsan. He's been in with Jay Harris as well, Lee McGregor. McGregor, the only fighter to stop him, and that was in the 12th and final round. Just falling in a little bit behind the left hand there, Asomba, but he was quick to cover up. Decent upper body movement there, though, from the Cameroonian.
Yeah, good head movement. Slipping and sliding and rolling underneath and looking to fire his own counters back.
Again, just kind of leant into that backhand, but then pivoted around the front foot and slipped away to his right. Ward with a nice snappy 1-2, but he was taken mainly on the gloves. Left to the body there from Asomba was a decent shot, but got caught with a right hand on the way in as he looked to follow it.
Yeah, good body shot from Asomba, but Ward came back with a nice short right uppercut. Good body shot.
Corner liking this from Asomba, encouraging him to work that body and getting close, and that was a good left hand. You saw the head of Ward just snap back there. He felt that one.
Yeah, some good work from Asomba. I think his smallness, the fact that he's staying low and he's got that little bit of an edge, I think, in hand speed. Good right hand there, though, from Ward. Again, nice head movement from Asomba.
It's a good technical fight, this.
Yep, so you just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, this is a real thinking man's fight. You can see them trying to set traps, trying to lure the other one into making a mistake.
Right, step back. Step back.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol. However you're spending the autumn nights, we've got a movie for you.
Isn't that perfect? You can clap now.
Immerse yourself with powerful true stories. Get swept away with action-packed thrillers, or embark on epic adventures. You like it? With the whole family.
This garden,
It's magical.
Your autumn nights are covered with Sky Cinema. Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
Father and son team there, Davey Ritson and Lewis Ritson, having a look at their stablemate, Thomas Patrick Ward. He'll be on later on, of course, top of the bill against Miguel Vasquez. So into the third, Thomas Patrick Ward in the yellow and blue, Asomba in the black, and Asomba looking aggressive at the start of the round there.
Yeah, he's throwing a lovely straight left down the middle, whether it's behind the double jab or the lead right hook, and then he steps in and really drives it down the middle. Again, nice left hand again from Asomba.
Well, they both just come together and end up on the floor, and that's no knockdown. But there was a good left hand over the top there from Asomba, dipped down to his right-hand side through that left, finding a good angle for it. As he's spoken about this week, these two have sparred each other after he was granted asylum in the UK, Asomba. He was settled in the northeast, found his way down to Phil Jeffries' gym in Rye Hope and took his career from there. He's now based in Wolverhampton, but he spent a long time up there. Some good body work there from Ward. He just reached a bit with that left hand there, Asomba, which he does do every now and again, and Ward was able to profit from it. Dipping low at the waist. As you said, Matt, in an earlier round, he's a difficult target, Asomba, who looked for that left hand close up.
They're caught on the right eye there of Ward, or a bit of marking.
Asomba just letting his hands go, but Ward had taken away back, so they didn't have any great effect. Ward just digging with the left to the body there.
Some quality work here from both guys. I mean, Asomba's staying low and he's firing that straight left hand, and a good left hook there from Asomba. You know, Ward is firing straight back at him. Brilliant fight.
Looking for the uppercut there, Ward, and then just turned it into a little right hand over the top. As we were saying, a high level of technical ability from both of these two. When you look at their amateur background, that is no surprise, but they're both happy just to stay in the pocket, really, on the borderline of range at best. And back their defensive skills, their ability to block, parry, slip. They're never too far away from each other. Asomba just moves in there again, throws that left hand, and every now and again you see that back foot just come off the canvas, but he knows how to adapt to it when he does it. Well, just dipped his head and came in, Asomba there without really offering anything. Ward just rattled off the 1-2.
Yeah, you got to be careful there, Asomba. He can't come into range and stand there and just pose and wait too long. He'll just get countered by Ward, as he did then. Nice movement there from Ward, just spinning off, getting back into the center of the ring. Good left hook from Asomba, and Ward fired back with a nice short left hook counter himself.
So Ward back into the corner at the conclusion of the round. And a good fight to watch, as we've been saying all the way through. So, as I said earlier on, Black History Month, and at Sky Boxing we're celebrating fighters who have brought an awful lot to the British ring. And this is one of them right here, Maurice Hope. Arrived in the UK from Antigua as a young boy, boxed at the Olympics for Great Britain in 1972. Then 7 years later went to Italy, stopped Rocky Mattioli in the 11th round to become WBC light middleweight champion, they would have known it as then. And what was an absolutely tremendous away win. One of the great away wins. Still going, Maurice. Always great to see him. So into the fourth. Ward just taking those feet into the centre of the ring. When you look at the feet of these two, they show you what good, well-schooled fighters they are, because they're never too far away from each other. When the front foot goes forward, the back foot comes with it. Asomba does overbalance a little bit every now and again, as he did there, but as I said, when he does it, he follows it in and really commits to it.
Yeah, and that's the key. You don't want to get caught in that no-man zone. If you come in, commit to it, and at least if you fall short, you'll fall in on top and maybe get a clinch out of it. What you don't want to do is half commit, get caught in no-man zone, and then you get caught with a load of counter punches. Looking for the right hook there, but Asomba seen it coming. I think, Andy, as you say, they've sparred with each other. They know each other's moves. They'll know how each other thinks a little bit. So setting traps and throwing feints and trying to get the other guy to react won't be as easy because you know each other so well.
Asomba with a big left hand there, and Ward felt that one. He's in a little bit of trouble here, Thomas Patrick Ward. And Asomba just prowling on that front foot, trying to make further inroads. Ward, though, I think has taken that well. I wondered for a split second there whether he was hurt. I don't think he was. Tries to sneak in a left hand round the back of the guard, but it was a solid left hand that caught him. But Ward then just comes back with a couple of rights himself, and it's really warming up now. As I said, these two have never been too far away from each other, happy to trade. There's that left hand again from Asomba, just finding the angle.
Yeah, that was a brilliant left hook from Asomba. I thought it stunned Ward, certainly moment.
Asomba again. Right hand on the inside there. Ward looks to try and fire back. Right hand from Ward as he just looks to try and back Asomba up a little bit. Ward just shuffling forward, trying to keep that guard high. This has been a high-tempo, high-octane round. Good left hand there from Asomba, who switched orthodox briefly there. Back southpaw, just digs his toes in. Another big left hand there from Asomba, who climbs into that one again. And Ward was just caught standing a little bit tall, rocked onto his heels. There is some damage on the inside of that left eye towards the bridge of the nose. Asomba looking to rip with a left uppercut again. And this is a big round for the Cameroonian. Ward has landed plenty in this round too, but having said that, it's Asomba who landed some heavy artillery, just moving back to his corner. Terrific stuff from both of them. And there's just that little nick. I don't think it's too much more than that, just on the corner, on the inside of the bridge of the nose there. Let's have a listen. Well, there was Asomba with that left hand, and he's landed that solid 2 or 3 times, and in the same kind of fashion. That left hook, and he gets plenty on it. Just finding great purchase. The biting point was perfect there, really. The distance he was throwing it from.
Left hook.
Terrific round, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. Big round for Asomba. And Ward came firing back as well, but yeah, great round.
Ward looking to try and put some weight on that right hand. Asomba with the left to the body. As he threw the right hand there, Asomba just slipped underneath it and looked for that left again.
He's sharp here, Asomba. The right hand came from Ward, but he was ready to fire back with that left uppercut into the stomach.
Let's have a look at your scorecard. You got it 2 apiece through 4 rounds. That 4th round was a big round for Asomba.
Now I think the speed of Asomba is probably giving Ward the most trouble. He's staying nice and low. He's got good hand speed. The straight left down the middle has been a really good shot for him, and also the left hook.
Looking for the left there, more of an uppercut. Ward just shuffling forward, and he can't afford to do that, because even when he shuffles forward with his gloves up, he gets into that mid-range, and that's exactly where Asomba likes it. Good 1-2 there from Ward, but Asomba, who tucks up well, makes himself a difficult target, takes it okay. That chin is always low.
Yeah, he's staying nice and low. He's small anyway, so he's making himself even smaller, staying low, which is You know, it's a smaller target for Ward. Good head movement as well, good upper body movement. But this is good, consistent pressure from Ward as well. He's firing the right hands into the chest, which is a good thing to do if someone's moving their head. Just aim at the chest. You know, even if you miss, you'll drive them back into the rope so you can step to them.
Trying to shoot the right hand through straight there, Ward. Didn't quite get home with it. And that was a decent combination. Somber with a crisp volley there, and he needed that because Ward was just threatening to not put him in his place exactly, but just get him under control maybe for the first time in the fight.
Well, it's good consistent pressure from Ward. You know, yes, Somber's fighting in bursts and he's landing some eye-catching shots, but Ward is keeping the pace hot on him. He's keeping the pressure on him. You know, if I was Ward's corner, I'd be thinking, just keep this pressure on him. Eventually, you're going to get to him. Keep throwing that straight right hand down the middle. Keep throwing it to the chest. Don't reach for it.
Trying to finish on that left to the body of Somber into the neutral corner. Just throws that left hand and moves away to the left. Every time he lands that left, you can see that it gives him real encouragement. I think he feels that he can hurt Ward with it, that he has hurt him with it at times, and he looks to capitalise on it. It's been a bruising fight, this. There's been a lot of good quality punching from both of these two fighters as we get to the halfway stage.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
Did you know the source of odours in your home could be all your soft surfaces? Odours get trapped in your home's fabrics and are released back over time. Febreze Fabric Refresher eliminates odours. Its water-based formula safely penetrates fabrics where odours hide. Spray it on your carpets, your furniture, and even on clothes you want to wear again. Make Febreze part of your tidying up routine for an all-over freshness you'll love. Febreze. Breathe happy.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltarol.
Very positive in that Asomba corner. They sniff an upset here. So into the sixth, into the second half of this fight, scheduled for 10 in the super bantamweight division. Thomas Asomba in the black, the solid black. Thomas Patrick Ward, highly ranked with 3 of the sanctioning bodies in the yellow and blue. Asomba, as we know, has taken this at short notice. Generally, he boxes at flyweight, super flyweight, bantamweight, not up as high as super bantam. So that could play a part as we go down the stretch, but as I said at the beginning, he's always in top nick. And he's been the distance down the stretch plenty of times.
He's throwing some good body shots here, Asomba. A straight left into the body. Some good right hooks as well around the back of the elbow of Ward. I think the edging speed is giving Ward a few problems here. The hand speed of Asomba and the nice upper body movement, spinning out.
That was a neat short right hand there from Ward.
Yeah, that's that consistent pressure of Ward. He's more consistent. He's more. You know, he's throwing more punches. He's those good right hands, but Asomba definitely throwing some more eye-catching bursts.
Asomba just leans forward there, really digs those feet in, and looks to try and cause some damage to the body, just chopping down, cuffing really with that right hand, Asomba, but Ward finding good distance himself. Asomba, though, just comes straight back. If you're watching this live in HD, you can enable audio description via your Sky remote to access the crowd sound effects. And what we've mostly heard in this fight is plenty of leather landing, because there's been a lot of punches. Left hand there followed by right hand from Asomba, just clipping the chin there of Ward, who's taken what Asomba has landed on him, which has been plenty.
Yeah, showing a good chin here, Ward. I mean, he's landed some really good straight right hands down the middle. He's kept his shape nice. The pressure's been good. But again, I think probably the most eye-catching shots in this round. The best flurries have come from Asomba.
Looking for the uppercut there, Asomba, but he managed to just squeeze the gloves on it there, Ward.
Work from Ward. Body shot.
Again, just looking for that left hand there, though, Asomba just exploding out of that crouch. He dips low at the waist and then just looks for it on the way up. And there's not a lot in some of these rounds. There really isn't.
Yeah, good short work there from Asomba. Shorten up those shots. Beating Ward to the punch with the shorter punches. You know, but Ward staying consistent, trying to force him back, landing straight right hands, good body work as well from Ward. Like you say, Andy, these rounds are close.
Don't forget your little movements, your little angles to get the shots in, yeah?
Those neat short shots from Asomba, they're kind of the ones you remember at the end of the round, but the pressure, that front foot pressure and work rate is coming from Ward for the most part, but Asomba just launching into a lead right hook there, right at the beginning of round 7. Fascinating story that he's got. He and Abdon Caesar, Serjan Bomo, Blaise Mendu, Christian Don Fackel fled the Olympic Village in London, sought asylum, were all granted it. They've all took up careers as pro boxers. It's been difficult for them, level on that scorecard through 6 rounds, because they're all good, but they can't sell tickets. So it's been tough jobs all the way.
Good right hand there from Ward. You see Asomba trying to thread his own left hand through the middle. Ward came firing back with a lovely straight right. Very well matched here, and I can tell that these two have sparred each other. They know each other's moves, they know how the other one's thinking.
Well, we're into the 7th now. I did think that possibly the difference in natural size between these two and the fact that Asomba's taking it at short notice could have an effect as we got deeper into the fight, and we're about to find out whether that is indeed going to be the case or not. But we know that Asomba is in shape because he boxed recently, did those 12 rounds against Sonny Edwards, looking for that left hand there again. Didn't quite get through clean.
Yeah, I don't know. Was there a clash of heads there? Yeah, I think there was.
I think there was, and Ward just immediately looked to the referee. Bob Williams calls timeout. There's a clash of heads in this fight against Jazza Dickens, and there's a cut. There's plenty of blood coming from that left eye, which could be a problem. It looks like it's going to go straight into the eye as well. The referee, though, has allowed things to continue for the moment. If that was caused by a clash of heads, and we're pretty sure that it was, and this gets stopped, then we're beyond the completion of 4 rounds, so we would go to the scorecards, and for us it's very, very close. And Asomba encouraged by that bleeding, fighters always are, looking for that left hand up the middle. Ward's in discomfort, but he's just trying not to show it.
Oh, big left hand from
Asomba just stopped Ward in his tracks, and he's trying to engage with him here, and the referee now does stop it. The gum shield has come out, so we'll get that washed off. That's a horrible cut. That is a horrible cut. You could just see it hanging open there, and I'm surprised that Bob Williams hasn't stopped this and got the doctor to have a look at it by now, really, because that is not
cut.
good at all.
That's a bad cut and in a bad place.
I'm pretty sure that that will get examined by the ringside doctor at the end of this round, and as I said, we have a legitimate contest because we completed 4 rounds, and if that's confirmed as a head clash, which we're sure it was, then this will go to the cards. And so the finish to this round could be absolutely critical here. This could be very, very important, because the fight may well not go beyond the conclusion of this round, and we've got it close up until this point. Ward, I think, maybe knows that. looking to step on and try and land that one too.
I think it's been a good round for Osama, but Ward really trying to pile the pressure on. I think he's trying to finish strong here in this round.
Well, it could be absolutely crucial. Somebody's just looking for that left hand, doesn't land it, and there goes the bell, and Ward goes back to the corner there.
That cut to the left eye was an accidental clash of heads.
Accidental clash of heads confirmed there by Bob Williams. Well, here's the replay, and well, they're both kind of equally culpable there. There was nothing deliberate about any of it, but Asomba does carry that head a little bit low, but Ward moved off to his left-hand side. Asomba didn't really make any movement towards him. It's just a coming together. An accidental clash of heads as described. No more than that, but that is an ugly-looking gash on that eyebrow.
You see, Tom.
Yeah, that's a nasty cut and in a bad place.
So timeout called by Bob Williams, and he's going to get the doctor to have a look at this, as I suspected he might.
It's not bleeding though. It's not screaming, it's bleeding at the moment.
You happy for it to go on?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so the doctor is happy for this one to go on. We've got 3 rounds remaining here in what we make a very, very close fight. And as I described in that previous round, this could change the dynamic. It complicates things because Ward may feel that he's not going to make it to the end of the fight here, that the doctor will stop it before then. With that being the case, they're probably going to have to fight every round they do have, if it is indeed the 3, like it's the last.
Yeah, I mean, the left hands from Asomba has been probably giving Ward the most trouble. His left eye now, the vision will be impaired without a doubt. I wonder will Asomba look to try and throw some looping right hooks, which will come out the peripheral vision of Ward. He won't be able to see them coming, or he'll just keep driving those straight lefts down the middle.
He's led off with the right hook every now and again, but as you say, it's been that left that has done most of the damage for him. That's been his most profitable shot by a mile.
Yeah, Ward's right hands have been good too. He's been sharp with those.
Nice flurry on the inside there from Asomba. That's exactly what he needs. Crisp work at short range, easy to see. Good right hand, smearing right hand. That could have been right on the button, right on that cut there from Asomba.
Yeah, it's been a good performance from Asomba. He's made himself even smaller. He's stayed low. He's punched out the crouch. You know, that straight left in particular. Sometimes the Ward's a little bit upright at times, and maybe overthinking it a little bit, waiting a little bit too long, allowing Asomba to get his shots off.
He is just tending to follow him around the ring a little bit at the moment, Ward.
Yeah,
lets his hands go there.
He's just overthinking it a little bit. You've got someone who's small there and crafty, and they're staying nice and low, and there's a lot of upper body movement. He's just hesitating and waiting that little bit too long, Ward, where, you know, just fire shots at the chest, double jab, right hand, hit the chest, hit his arm, you'll drive him back, you'll knock him off balance, you can step to him, and it's pressure. I think he's overthinking it. He's looking for the perfect shot, and that's giving Asomba time to just, you know, come into range, let his shots off and get back out.
He's just trying to bring that size to bear there, just leant in on Asomba, but Asomba wasn't having it. Landed a lovely little left uppercut, then dips low at the waist. His lateral movement's been on point right from the start. You've got to be very fit to do that this deep in the fight.
Yeah, and you see him just confidence there, dropping his hands, standing his ground, staying low, dipping, upper body movement, and then punching out of the, punching off the head movement as well, just coming out of the crouch.
I think there might have been a little clash of heads again. There was a gesture from Ward. Asomba just shrugged his shoulders as if to say, this is boxing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of pressure coming from Ward, but he's missing a lot here. Really good upper body movement from Asomba. He's having the better of the action here, certainly for me in this round.
And Asomba just spreading his gloves wide. He looks the more cocksure, the more confident of the two as he heads back to his corner. Ward with most of the pressure in that round, but that cut, I think, is having an effect because it's in a terrible place. The blood's going straight into the eye.
All right, Tom.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, nasty clash of heads there. You can see sometimes you get a southpaw and orthodox, and they're both leaning in to throw body shots at the same time. You know, there's no malice in it. It's just an accidental clash of head.
Keep your bottom of it.
The Cutman's got that adrenaline swab in there for as long as possible. You have to try and apply pressure, get that adrenaline swab in, pinch it together some more. That's where the pressure is really on. And again, the doctor is going to have another look. As I said, they'll have to fight every round like it is the last.
It's starting to bleed quite a lot.
Because it could be at any stage.
We'll stop it and then go to the scorecards. It was an accidental clash of heads. It's going to get scored.
I think they're stopping
Okay,
it.
so Bob Williams has stopped it.
Yeah,
And he said,
scorecards,
as he
I
said,
think
we
he'll
will
go to now.
Well, it does, absolutely it does, because it was an accidental clash of heads. That's why the fight has ended, and we're beyond the completion of 4 rounds, so it will go to the scorecards. And it's our men at ringside who will decide. And that was always likely. As soon as you saw how bad it was, as soon as you saw the big globules of blood just dripping down from that eyebrow, as soon as the heads clashed, you knew it was going to be a problem. They managed to get one more round in there from the doctor before he decided that it had to be stopped, and they're not particularly confident in that corner. As I said at the time, Matt, when we saw the first replay, no one's really to blame for this.
No, you see it often, Andy, when you see a southpaw and an orthodox. There's no malice. No one's intended for that to happen. They've both gone to throw body shots at the same time. And yet, you know, that often happens. You see that a lot in boxing. And unfortunately for Thomas Patrick Ward, you know, he's come off all the worse for it. Nasty cut in a very bad part of the eye as well. Running down into the eye would have been impairing his vision, would have been difficult then. You've got blurred vision, your timing, your distance, everything goes off a little bit then. It becomes difficult to judge, you know, the distance. I think it was definitely the right decision for the referee.
Asomba feels like he's done enough here. And when you look at the two corners, they are contrasting stories. Asomba is confident. The Ward corner looks a little bit resigned. The men at ringside are Michael Alexander, Marcus McDonnell and Terry O'Connor. They've had 8 completed rounds to score. No knockdowns, no point deductions.
No, the body language doesn't look good for Thomas Patrick Ward, though. If you were judging on body language, certainly Asomba seemed the happier corner there. I mean, you got to look at Sonny Edwards and the win he had over Thomas Asomba. I did say beforehand what a good fighter Sonny Edwards was, but you know, that makes his win look even better. I don't know if this was maybe a little bit of an off night, maybe. Thomas Patrick Ward had sparred a lot with Asomba, or Asomba, you know, has really stepped up to the plate, but, you know, really good fight to watch.
Well, he's had a late change of opponent. He was supposed to be in with a Mexican fighter, Jesus Estrada Garcia. Asomba came in with just over a week to go. He's a southpaw, but then again, they know each other well, as you say. And there is Robert Smith. He's got the all-important piece of paper and is just delivering that to David Diamante. If Asomba gets this, then what a win. Flyweight, super flyweight, bantamweight are the weights he usually operates on. Super bantamweight, I thought was probably too for him, if I'm honest. I thought he might fade a bit in the second half of the fight.
I actually think he used his smallness to his advantage. Like I say, he stayed low, made himself an even smaller target, and was punching well out of the crouch.
Well, very amicable between these two as they wait. That most nervous of waits. Well, they're still going through the scores. Robert Smith and David Diamante. He needs to be absolutely sure, David, of what he's saying here. So these two being brought to the centre of the ring. And as we've been saying, it's Asomba who looks the more confident of the two. Ward 29-0. If he does get the win, then he'll go level with Josh Warrington at 30-0. Billy Joe Saunders also 29-0. It's a very long 100% record that he's boasted up until this point, but you just see that left glove just being shaken slightly there by Asomba. He feels that he has done enough here through these 8 3-minute rounds. He's already had some big wins. I outlined them at the start of the fight. He's won a Commonwealth title, he's won an English title, he's won a WBA ranking belt, and this would be an astonishing scalp.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Bob Williams calls a halt to this contest on advice of the ringside physician after an accidental headbutt. 8 rounds have been completed. Therefore, we go to the judges' score totals. Marcus McDonald, 88-85, Esomba. Terry O'Connor, 88-84, Ward. Michael Alexander scores this contest 86-86. We have a split technical draw.
So we've got a split decision draw. Marcus McDonald went for Esomba, Terry O'Connor went for Ward, and our third and final judge, Michael Alexander, went for a draw. We've got scores in the 80s there because that 9th round did start. The bell did go, so they would have scored that round. They would all have scored it even, of course, but that's why we've got that look about the scores. And Esomba and Ward just exiting the ring. Ward is slipping off towards the changing rooms. So some cricket coming up for you on Sky Sports. It is IPL season, of course. Tomorrow, 10:50 a.m. the Sunrisers against the Knight Riders. Then at 10-3, the Mumbai Indians against Kings 11 Punjab. Both of those on Sky Sports Cricket. Okay, so let's get down to ringside. Andy Scott is with Thomas Esomba.
Thomas, thank you very much for joining us. Just have to say that Thomas Patrick Ward, we're not actually allowed to talk to him because the British Board of Control want him to get straight away back to see the doctor, so that's understandable. Thomas Esomba, just try and sum up how you're feeling right now. A split technical draw. How happy are you with that result?
Yeah, but to be honest, it was a good fight, but I'm all right. I'm good, feel good.